Are you currently suffering from a stiff back and don't know what to do about it? I'm going to explain 3 things to you that you should never do when you have a stiff back. And I'm going to show you what you can do right now to ease your stiffness in your lower back. Hi, I'm Ursula Knecht. I'm a sports physiotherapist and manual therapist in Joondalup. But you can also contact me online. I can also show you online on how to do the right exercise at the right time. First, I'm going to show you what you're supposed to do, and then at the end of the video and after those exercises, I'm going to explain to you what you should never do, those 3 things you should never do if you are suffering from a stiff back. Okay, so it depends a bit on how stiff your lower back is and how long you have had that stiffness for, or is it all pain as well. So I'll show you a few exercises. Like always, those exercises, you just have to try what works for you. You don't want to move into pain. You just want to find what easily works for you and loosens up your back. So what I usually do, if I have a stiff back, and what is causing a stiff back actually, what do you feel is causing a stiff back in your life? In my life, a stiff back can cause actually 2 quite opposite things. On one hand, it can be when I was sitting in the office too long, then I tend to have a stiff back at the next day. The other hand as well is actually when I do quite a bit of gardening, when I do probably digging more holes and being on my knees longer than I usually am. So there are 2 different kinds of back stiffness. One is because I was in the same position sitting and not having enough activation of my back muscles for a long period of time. And the other one is this back stiffness because of sore muscles, because I used the muscles for a longer period of time. So 2 different ways of getting your back stiff, and the exercises are actually the same I do. They're both helping to, just regain that length of those back muscles to get that range of motion back in your back muscles. So what I really like is this one here. So lying on your back on the floor, so normally you would have your hands out, and then just gently tilt from one side to the other. Now again, like I said before, you don't want to go into pain. You're allowed to have a bit of a stretch at the end, but it shouldn't feel painful. And this, of course, if you are very well trained. Other way to do it is having your legs up like that and then gently go. Again, you would have your arms out on the floor, do it like that, or even have your legs straight up. Only go as far as you can hold it, and also as far as you only feel a gentle stretch. So that's one of the exercises. Okay, another exercise I really like to loosen up my back, especially after bending much or sitting much. Hands under my shoulders. Make sure that I keep my shoulders down and then push with my arms up. Again, you only want to go as far as you can easily go. You don't want to move into pain. And I prefer it actually if you as loose as possible here. So really working hard with your arms. And also getting your shoulders down. So you don't want to have your shoulders up here on your neck. You want to make sure that you bring your shoulders back and push yourself up like that. The smooth, regular movement. If your back is really stiff, you may only go as far as that at the beginning. So it's really quite a small movement at the beginning. So there are 3 exercises I really like in a combination. So you can start, for example, with this one, and then you push yourself up on all 4, and then you do the cat and camel. So rolling up and down. Again, if your back is really stiff, then you would do quite a small movement. Now the cat and camel actually helps the whole back. So even if you have a stiff back further up, you can do that. That helps. Even with stiff necks, it helps. I always usually aim for about 10 to 15 repetitions. And then my third one, for the lower back stretch is that one here. Just giving it a bit of a stretch. So, and then I would just start again, doing the cobra again, then do the cat and camel again, and probably do all of them about 3 times until I feel I can move better. Okay, now what do you think are the 3 things you should never ever do when you have a stiff back? Doesn't matter if the stiff back is from sitting too long or if the stiff back is from doing too much exercise or new exercise or gardening too much. 3 things you should never do. If a stiff back, don't jump or twist with really speed, because you're not able to actually control the movement. So you need to loosen up your muscles first, that they are able to actually control the movement again, so otherwise you injure yourself. Another one, people understand, do not lift too heavy weights. Again, same thing, that your muscles can actually work in that system of muscles and joints the right way. You need the system to work together. If it's just stiffness there, they cannot perform at their fullest. And the most important one of all, do never rest. There is no back pain that requires rest. There is no national guidelines at all that says that you should rest. So you need to keep on moving. Rest is really bad. Rest makes it even stiffer. Rest makes your muscles weaker and stiffer, and actually at the end of the day you have more pain with rest. So that's another video on my video series, 2 different topics, all about back pain and exercise, what you should do and what you shouldn't do. If you have any questions, just drop them below. If you like videos like that, give me your thumbs ups. And also please share with your friends and families. Back pain is a very common problem, and often people don't do the right thing about it because they just don't have the education, they don't know more about that.